Um, this is really hard for me to talk about. My mind like just wants to block all of it out. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, subscribe, join the family, and if you're returning, like, thanks for being loyal. Today I'm going to be talking about my miscarriage. I've been putting this video off for a while. I went to bed last night planning on filming it today, but I woke up with a headache and I feel nauseous and I'm super tired, and those are all symptoms of pregnancy, and I'm confused because, like, I'm not pregnant anymore, so why am I still feeling these things? I'm sure that some of you guys may have realized that I took down my pregnancy announcement video, and that's because I had a miscarriage. I'm just gonna start at the beginning and like explain what happened, explain my experience. On July 28th, I took a pregnancy test. It was positive, but it was faked, so I had my sister bring me another one because the one that I took was like the dollar store ones, the purple and white ones. So I was like, well, I don't know how accurate this is, so she brought me another one and it was also positive. So then I took a third one and it was like too faint to count, so I just like forget about that one. That night I went and bought a digital test, and the next morning I took it and it said pregnant, so I was super excited. I told Troy, like, we haven't been like trying per se, but we haven't been preventing it either. So I took the test on a Sunday. That Tuesday I called my doctor, well, just an OBGYN who's now my doctor, and I scheduled my first appointment. So I was supposed to go in for my P&I prenatal interview and also my first ultrasound on August 9th. August 9th comes, we go for my appointment. It's at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm really excited. I go in, do my prenatal interview. They ask me a bunch of questions, ask me about like my medical history and if there are any like diseases in the family, genetic disorders, all that stuff. And then they give me like a pamphlet and a book, and then they have me sign some paperwork, and then they take me to the lab to get my blood drawn. As I'm getting my blood drawn, my doctor's assistant comes in and tells me that my doctor had to leave for an emergency surgery and that I can either wait for her or reschedule. I'm assuming it was like an emergency C-section, so I couldn't really be mad because I'm sure that that person needed her more than I did at the time. So we just rescheduled for August 16th, a week later, and August 12th comes and I start bleeding. I'm cramping this whole pregnancy, but that's normal in pregnancy, and also it's normal with me. I've had stomach issues for years. August 12th I start bleeding, but it's brown blood, so it's like older blood. So I text my mom. She says go to the emergency room, but I'm like, I'm not trying to go through all that trouble if it's nothing. That night, Sunday night, the bleeding stops, so I'm not worried about it. And then it starts up again on Monday, the 13th, and it doesn't stop until like the 20th or 21st. So I was bleeding that whole time, and it was more than just spotting, just what I thought spotting would be. And it wasn't enough to be like on drenching my pad, but it was when I wiped. So I was like worried about it. So I called my doctor that following Tuesday on the 14th, and I said, like, listen, I'm bleeding, I'm cramping, what do you think I should do? And they said, well, if it's not like drenching your pad, then don't worry about it. You have your appointment on Thursday in 2 days, so like if it doesn't get worse, just wait until your appointment. So it didn't get worse, but it didn't stop either. So I went in for my appointment on Thursday. They asked me how I'm doing, and I tell them I'm bleeding, I'm cramping, I'm worried. The doctor goes in, does the exam. First she checks with her finger to see if my cervix is open, and she said it wasn't open, so that's a good thing. But then she went in with the wand, and like she's looking around, not saying anything, So I'm getting more and more worried. She's like, does it hurt? Because I was breathing weird, and I was like, no, I'm just nervous. So I see this like little black spot, and I said, what's that black spot? And she said, that's the digestional sac. And that's where the baby should be growing. We should be seeing a lot more than we're seeing right now, because she wasn't seeing anything in the sac, like nothing at all, not even a speck. So she's like, I think it's safe to say with the bleeding on top of like these results that you had a miscarriage. The second she said that, like I knew it in the back of my mind, but the second she said that, my heart shattered. It's like a feeling that you won't know unless you go through it. So I start bawling. Troy comes and holds me for a second. Then they want to do a blood test to make sure, like to confirm and see my levels are dropping. So I did a blood test, and the next day they called me, said your levels are 1,058, but we need it to be below 5. So you have a way to go. So on Monday, I want you to go into a lab, get your blood drawn, and we're going to make sure that it keeps dropping. And then once it's back down to 5, you can try again. I went in on, I think it was the 20th, Monday, and got my blood drawn, and they called me the next day and told me that my levels were now at 40 something. So they dropped like at least 1,000. So that's good that they're dropping in a medical sense, but I mean, that means that I lost the baby. So in my opinion, it's not a good thing. The doctor didn't really like have a reason for this happening. They said that it was nothing that I did that caused it. They said that maybe the egg got fertilized, but then it never started to develop. So they want me to go back in 2 weeks, which I think would be this coming Monday, but I'm not going to go back because I don't want to get my blood drawn for nothing, because I know that my levels are dropping. I'm really sad about it. I've never dreamt more about babies and being a mother, and I've never seen more baby related things in my life than I have since I found out I had a miscarriage. So like, I feel like everything is making it worse, and I'm just more mad at myself than anything for getting my hopes up, because honestly, this is gonna sound like ridiculous, but I'm so used to things going wrong in my life that I teach myself not to get excited about things, not to get my hopes up, because something always happens in any situation. I was just mad that I let myself get my hopes up. I made a YouTube video about it. I told the world. I posted it everywhere, and I shouldn't have done that. And now I have to explain to the world what happened and why I took down all my posts. And it's not something that I necessarily want to talk about, but it's something that needs to be talked about. I did stop bleeding, so I think that the miscarriage is over, but I'm still feeling nauseous in the mornings. I still have headaches. I have headaches literally all day. I wake up with a headache, I go to bed with a headache, and it's so annoying. I'm hoping it's just like my hormones rebalancing, but I don't know. Now I know not to jump the gun, and Troy and I are gonna keep trying, but this time I'm gonna still film everything. Like, I'm gonna record me taking the test, I'm gonna record the baby coming out, maybe not, but I'm not gonna post anything about it until the 2nd or 3rd trimester, just so like we're in the clear. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here and explain why I took down my pregnancy video. I'm gonna jump off here and make another video, change my shirt to act like it's a different day, so you will be seeing what's on my iPhone X video after this video. So I'll see you guys when I see you guys.